r/ask Reddit. What needs to make a comeback? Good shows on the History Channel. Shows about, well, history, not any of these recycled reality shows. It's so bad now. Yep, they need to change their name. Their programming these days is only remotely related to history. Used to be one of my favorite channels and I seldom watch these days. Bring back modern marvels. I really miss how it's made. Prioritizing making a quality product over making a quick buck. No shit. Cisco puts out the worst crap. I've had tech engineers tell me on the phone, yep, we don't really do quality testing anymore. No one has time for that. Being able to challenge someone to a duel. Stacy from accounting ain't gonna be talking shit if it means pistols at dawn. I'm pretty sure that, although not firearms, there's still a few places in the US where you can actually challenge someone to a bout of fisticuffs. I'm not even American, but I'm pretty sure it's called mutual combat. Saw it in a post a few days ago. No weapons, 2 people. Dear Stacy, guns. Drawn Weehawken. Dawn, Aaron. You're on. Privacy and anonymity. I truly think it isn't possible anymore. Too many extremely intelligent people have spent their entire careers designing tech which specialize in collecting personal data and monetize it. Affordable housing. Cries in Californian. Actual journalism. Someone needs to draw the line between journalists and bloggers who need page clicks to afford food. With the reporters wearing a piece of paper in their hat that says press. Holding a pencil and notepad. With a big flashbulb camera strapped around their neck. Now that's journalism. Reasonable prices for college. You guys would shit if you knew how low my state resident tuition at Purdue University was in the early 1970s. It was free at the UC system in California until 1970 for residents. Altoid SARS. IDKY, but I miss these so much. Oh man, those tangerine bastards did a number on my mouth, but I always went back to them. I would kill the whole can in a day. Was like children's methylampheo. Looked a while ago and there was a guy selling a tin on eBay for like 1k. I laughed and then cried. Wish I was rich enough where 1k didn't mean anything and I could binge on the whole can again. The positive use of the word radical. I unironically say that's rad all the time, but it stems more from dodgeball than anything. Same, but that's just because I think using outdated slang is a lot funnier than it actually is. The word bogus. Don't forget gnarly and bodacious. Bro, did you just see that gnarly wave? Nah man. That wave was bogus. Yay bro. But that girl over there, bodacious bro. Population of bees. Population of sharks. Population of whales. The Great Barrier Reef. RIP. There's a scientist who figured out that if you break a piece of coral into shards it grows back at a super accelerated rate and can be planted back onto the reef to regrow the whole thing. The pieces recognize one another as parts of the same whole and can reform. They'll grow back to their original size in a fraction of the time. There's hope for our reefs. Sadly, that's not quite applicable for the Great Barrier Reef. The water is just becoming too acidic for any of the coral to thrive anymore. So even if we did begin to regrow the shards of coral, it would not survive any better than the parent corals. Star Wars video games and the way LucasArts made them. Not like the EA games we have now. I saw a post on Reddit somewhat recently comparing 8 years of Star Wars games under EA and under LucasArts. LucasArts had roughly 14 games between 2002 to 2010, whereas EA has only put out the 2 new Battlefront games since they acquired LucasArts. Well, I wouldn't mind the small numbers so much if EA made games just as good as Rogue Squadron and the original Battlefront games. But they aren't. Not even close. Seriously, just reskin the original Battlefront 2 with the newer graphics and they'd have a great game. Healthy debates conversation. What the duck do you mean by that, a-hole? Do we need to buy you a dictionary, duckface? I guess so, pigducker. Cloaks, they're super comfortable. You can wear them in a variety of ways that make them adaptable to changing conditions. We just need a style leader to take the plunge. McConaughey, I'm looking at you. I would love for cloaks, capes, and robes to become mainline fashion, especially during winter. I would be so much more comfortable. But I can't possibly even attempt to wear such things without immediately looking like someone who has lost touch with reality and probably has a large pillow with semen stains on it as my girlfriend. If it was clearly a good quality, functional, non-ostentatious one, you'd look better than, say, the guy I once saw at the library wearing a cheap crushed velvet one crookedly over a t-shirt as he surfed the web. Batman animated series with Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. That episode with Mr. Freeze made me realize cartoons can be serious. Didn't that one significantly change subsequent depictions of Mr. Freeze forever? Also won an Emmy. Quality products. I'm 31 and in my lifetime I've noticed this shift that everything that's sold to us feels like a hollow attempt to wring money out of us. I know products were always made with the idea that they would make a company money, but it also felt like said company wanted to make a good product. Now it seems they have it all down to a science and know the minimum quality levels we'll all put up with and shell junk out to us, and we can't really do anything about it. There are still small, craftsman level creators who are passionate about making quality, heirloom grade products, but they take a lot of work to track down, cost an absolute arm and a leg, and are often in such high demand they can require a long wait even for ready money. Obviously anything remotely tech is obsolete so fast there isn't much point designing it to last more than 5-6 years, and as more stuff becomes tech enabled the space for solid low tech gear shrinks. Country before party. I thought you were talking about music. I, for one, would love for people to start making country music again instead of what we've been getting. Generic pop music being sung with obviously fake, over the top, southern accents. The movement to cancel Chris Brown, like duck that guy. We have been absolutely demonizing R. Kelly, as we should, recently. Yet somehow let that little shit CB worked his way right back to the top as if no one noticed or cared. If we're cancelling R. Kelly, let's throw Chris Breezy under the bus with him. Parent that actually teach their own kids right from wrong instead of expecting the schools to do it. This still happens. Only Reddit likes to upvote the stories about terrible parents because it fuels their rage boner. Hand-drawn animation, especially in Disney movies. Brendan Fraser. I feel really bad for him. He's stated in an interview that he was sexually assaulted by the ex-president of HFPA and that, when he told people what happened, they must have blacklisted him from continuing his career. He opened up about it in 2017-18 and naturally the guy is denying it and saying, I only pinched his butt, not all the other stuff. As for the blacklisting, James Woods also said that HFPA have blacklisted him too for talking about politics before. Now, it seems like Fraser is really focused on his family and his 3 sons these days. I think his oldest is a model on the autism spectrum. He talked about him a lot, very proudly, in an interview. I like Brendan Fraser a lot so I feel bad that something so shitty happened to him and derailed his career. The Mummy is still one of my favorite movies of all time. F-Zero. And Earthbound and Star Fox. I'm pretty sure Ness, Fox, and Captain Falcon are more Smash Bros characters than characters in their own franchise. Rick Moranis came here to say this. He apparently quit acting to raise his kids full time after his wife died. Kids are grown by now. I'm hoping he makes his return in the new Ghostbusters. Hand with index and middle fingers crossed. Cheats in video games. I bought the damn thing. Let me get to the end. I'd argue that for the most part games are easier than they've ever been. Action movies with actual people like we had in the 90s. Not with superheroes, mutants, robots or cars. Just a few good guys and a shit ton of bad guys. John Wick, not a superhero, just a badass. It was surprisingly refreshing with such a simple story. Dinosaurs. There have been several movies showing just how bad of an idea this would be. Trust busting. Someone get my big stick. A daily life in the US without politics butting its way into every activity and relationship. I find this post ironic. Outcast. Rollerblades. They're coming back. I used to see almost no other rollerbladers out, but last summer I'd see 7 or 8 out on the bike paths. Rollerblading is awesome and I encourage everyone to try it out. Thinking prior to going on a rant. I had a political disagreement with one of the people in my Discord a couple weeks ago and said that I'd be muting the channel till he got it out of his system. He challenged me on why I wasn't going to engage him in it if it's something I care about so much. And one of the reasons I cited was simply that he types faster than I can think. If someone's not willing to slow down a bit and actually engage you in a civil debate where each side respects each other's time to put at least a little bit of thought and hopefully fact checking into their arguments, then that someone just wants to rant and doesn't actually care about what you think. Finished video games that don't require massive 0-day patches. Goth chicks. Station wagons. Patrick Warburton as a tick. Parents teaching their kids basic life skills. I sure wish I was taught some. Conservatives and liberals getting along. I'm a liberal. One of my best friends is a conservative. It's really not that freaking hard. Plane seating like in the 80s where everyone had legroom. I'm a tall mother ducker. I can't sit for 2 hours of flight with my knees etched into my sternum. Crash Bandicoot. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.